hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. First and foremost, before I get started, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who sent love and positive energy and kind messages over just over the past few days. As you know, I recently lost my cat of 14 years, and I had to take a day off on Monday to, it was a little hard to channel. So yeah, just thank you guys for the positive messages. I really appreciate it. And just wanted to say that before I get it started. And let's get into the message, shall we? So for channeled messages, I actually got 3 songs, which was a lot. But we have Home by Mr. Kitty, Beautiful Mayhem by Death by Rami, and Monsters in My Mind by Cloudy June. Good songs, check those out. There might be a message for you in there. I also saw the numbers 311, 911, and 222. The color red is relevant. Atlantis, specifically the movie. Someone here could be a fan of Tim Burton and his works. There were some heavy mother wounds. You could also be the eldest daughter. I also got tattoos, specifically a sleeve. So you might have sleeve tattoos. The name Anastasia, Sophie, and Megan were relevant. Snakes could be relevant, as well as the signs Gemini and Cancer. And then I actually got a quote today, which was new for me, and it was, "She got her spark back." So let's dive in and see what that's about. I'm going to pull out the dice, and we're going to see which astrological house this reading will be in today, as well as which astrological sign it will be in today. So I hope you are having a beautiful day, and if not, I hope it gets better from here. So the house that this reading will be in is in the 8th house for transformation and renewal and rebirth. It's also the house of taboo, so that's interesting. And let's see what sign this is going to be in. Looks like 12 for Pisces. So the house of transformation, house of transformation, karma, taboo in Pisces. That's interesting. So let's get into the runes and figure out what that means, because taboo, escapism, escapism habits. Could be people who like to numb themselves with things like with herbal means, right? Very daydreamy energy, maybe prone to living their lives in their fantasies. So like that's kind of a thing happening here. So let's get some more detail. Let's see. We have 3 here. So it looks like we have Lagus for intuition. Okay, I'll show you guys a little rune here. Lagus for intuition. Gebo for a gift. Intuitive gift regarding, this is Fehu. Yeah, Fehu. An intuitive gift of wealth and luck. Oh, well, that's lovely. So I'm going to get charms too, because that's interesting. An intuitive gift of luck and wealth. I'm just looking away from the charms so I don't accidentally influence it. And let's see what we get here. Okay, interesting. We have this little smoky quartz. So transmuting of negative energies into more neutral energies. I like that. And we have the bell here, which represents, so in spirituality and mysticism, bells represent, they scare away bad energy. So this would be protection against negative energies. And we also have this little spotlight here. Whenever I see this, I think of like a bike flashlight or like the light of a lighthouse. And that makes me think of shining a light on things. So shining a light on the shadow side, the more negative aspects of our lives. But then I also see this little charm here, right? And this one is the aggro charm. If you're a gamer, you totally understand what I mean here. It represents drawing in a bit of like people seeing you working on your healing progress, and it makes them mad and they come attack you for some reason. So that's interesting that we have the house of transformation in Pisces. And then we have intuition, a gift. Yeah, an intuitive gift of wealth and luck. So let's get into tarot and see what we have here. I'm feeling purple today, so let's go with purple. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here, for your likes, for your shares, for your comments. I really appreciate it. And again, if you just popped in here and you've been here for a while, thank you for all of the kind words and messages. In the past few days, I've been through a lot. And I just wanted to say thank you for your kind words. It really helps. And I'm happy to come here and do these readings for you guys. I just needed that day off to process. So thank you again for your support. Okay. So let's see what's going on with my collective today. What's going on with the collective today? We have this feeling of transformation happening here in Pisces. Let's see. The Eight of Pentacles, which we've been working on. We have been working on transforming. Okay. So I got the numbers 311 and 911 here, as well as 222. And 311 is often a sign of encouragement and empowerment from your guides. 911 often represents nearing the completion of a cycle, as well as a reminder to visualize your life. So tapping into the Pisces energies in order to fantasize your best life. And then 222 is alignment. So again, working hard on bringing that into alignment. Go see Daddy, babe. Okay. What else is going on? So this is something we have been working on, or are working on. And I got the color red. Yeah. Working on that happiness, right? Chosen family, bringing in that emotional fulfillment. That's what we've been working on. The color I got earlier was red, which represents passion, foundation, your sense of security, and it also ties into your root chakra, which again relates to your foundation, your childhood wounding, family life, things of that nature, things that make you feel stable, safe, and secure. So this is definitely something you've been working on, is bringing that in. And again, this could be you've been trying to heal some mother wounds, right? And again, I got that quote, she got her spark back, which that really does, it does kind of give that off, right? Good evening. Getting your spark back. What else is going on with my collective today? And we do have a full moon in Gemini tomorrow. So it's interesting that we got Gemini here as well. And that full moon is going to be a super moon. So it's going to be a bit stronger of an energy. Interesting. So like when you're working hard and you got a full moon, that means usually the full moon is when you, it's the culmination of all of your efforts, right? King of Swords. Yeah, so we're definitely using our intelligence, we're using our mind to bring forth new things. Yeah, looking towards the future, right? Working hard on the past and looking towards the future. Oh, that's interesting. Cancer was the other sign that I got. Interesting. Yeah, we're looking towards our future, but we're going about it in a fair way. So it's like working hard towards working on those wounds, healing those wounds so that you can have a better life. Yeah. Oh, I like that. What else is going on with the collective today? Really need to know. Oh, goodness. Thank you. Yeah, with 5 of Swords in the reverse. So yeah, leaving behind those past deceptions, right? Past deceptions, past people who probably perpetuated these mother wounds, this issue of, yeah, like the monsters in my mind, right? Always waiting in the dark, always waiting in the park. You know, they like wait for you at your lowest. And the beautiful mayhem too is like people spreading rumors about how you're this monster, this demon, this person who causes all these problems when that's not really the case, and it kind of puts you in your head a little bit. Yeah, kind of leaving behind this cycle of dealing with liars who perpetuate these mother wounds. And I got that eldest daughter feeling too. So the parentified daughter, healing that cycle, healing that wound. I'm glad to hear that, Shari. Well, I'm not necessarily glad that you went through that, but I am glad that it's resonating. Interesting. What else is going on with the collective for today, Spirit? But I see that you're working quite hard, which is great. Yes, and we had snakes, so transformation, healing, renewal. So it's like shedding the skin. The snake that I got earlier, was a white one, which is like, white represents purity and purification. So it's like the purification process of those things, shedding that old layer behind, leaving it behind in the past. Yeah, and the Hermit in the reversed as well. So that's interesting, because that's like leaving behind this need to isolate. Yeah, like we did all that internal work, and now we're leaving behind this isolation period of like deep, heavy shadow work, feeling the need to be isolated from everyone, and we're starting to come back out. Yeah. Because this could have been a very lonely period of time of just trying to find some healing within ourselves. It could be like dealing with an issue that made you shut yourself in your house for a while and kind of boycott the rest of humanity for a little bit while you dealt with those feelings. However you feel guided to shuffle, there's no correct way to shuffle. Some people like the bridge. Some people like to do specifically this type of shuffling. Some people do it like this, where they go back and forth. And some people just put it on the table, move it all around, put it back together, and then do the top one. Whatever you feel is best for you. Your intuition is your intuition. You can't really get a reading wrong. Yes, exactly. Then you're doing fine. So yeah, this like leaving behind this heavy isolationist period, this needing to be alone, being away from everyone, shutting yourself away from the world. You're welcome. Yeah. Woo. All right, those did a whole bunch of backflips, so I'll grab them. But that's a lot though. Well, we'll see. They might have a message. We have the King of Cups. Okay, so not necessarily drowning in our emotions. Two of Pentacles, getting our priorities in order. So instead of juggling everything and dropping everything like I just did, dropping a bunch of stuff, we're kind of figuring things out as we go. We have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So it may feel like it's taking a long time, right? Lots of delays and frustrations. And then we have the Emperor in the reverse. Yeah, and because of these frustrations and delays, that may make you feel like you don't have much control at this time. But you are actively working towards bringing that into your life. You are actively working on, like I said, bringing in your happiness. You're putting forth that manifestation energy. It just may not be coming in as quickly as you would like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you may not actually realize how much progress you've made because you've been alone or like just sequestered away from other people. And you see yourself every single day, right? We see ourselves every single day, so it's a little hard to tell when things change. Especially if it's not something like you can see with your eyes, right? Like you can see if you've been losing weight, you can see if your hair is changing color, you can see those kinds of things, but you can't really see deep internal wounds on the outside, right? You can't see progress made there. It often takes catching yourself in the moment, or someone going, wow, you've really changed, in order for you to like actually recognize it. Or like writing in a journal and then going back and reading like last month's entries. But it takes like having some form of awareness of our patterns in order to actively notice. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, the High Priestess. So yeah, the work you're doing, you're very intuitively called to do. You're following your intuition on this. It's kind of like we're working very hard on it. We're not quite sure if it's working, but we're doing it because it feels right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follows and the gifts and for the likes. Thank you, truly. But I do see that you are manifesting. You may not even be aware that you're manifesting. You could have just been like, I really need to bring some change into my life. I don't really want to keep living this way. And you're doing what feels right in the moment. And that's actually the best thing you can do, honestly. You don't always have to have the answers. Yeah, the Hanged Man, a shift in perspective away from, oh, interesting. So yeah, a shift in perspective moving forward. We're moving away from that, like, yeah. Normally when I see this in the upright, it's like strategic thinking. And then in the reverse, that's usually like manipulative energy. Yeah, moving away from manipulation, rumors. Yeah, because the Five of Swords in the reverse is usually like lies, disagreements. And the Seven of Swords is like manipulative. I don't think you're manipulative though. So it's like a trying to move away from manipulative energies. Thank you. Yeah, Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So like manipulative friends that you may not really have noticed before, or family members, people who were close to you but weren't actually for you. You know what I mean? Family members, friends, lovers. You know your story better than I do. And then we have here the Three of Wands. So yeah, it's like we're waiting for the work to show up and say, oh, you're done. You're done working. Your efforts, the culmination of your efforts has come through. Hi, buddy. Can you go see Daddy, please? Thank you. Yeah, leaving behind those burdens. So we're trying to figure out how to leave behind those people who took advantage and did a lot of like lying. Again, heavy mother wounds here, so it could be a mother figure. Yeah, leaving behind those burdens, those excessive responsibilities and burdens that we've been carrying on our back. This can also represent, right, like being near the finish line, but since it's in the reverse, it's more like leaving that behind, leaving behind that heavy weight. This is a collective reading. I don't do personals on live just because your business should remain yours. I don't feel comfortable putting that out for the whole world to see, but you can, if you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. You can check that out, and I'm happy to answer your questions there. So I'll pull this last one and then I'll get into the next part. So what else do they need to hear? Oh, there we go. What else are they doing at this time? Yeah, getting away from those people who put in like unsolicited opinions, like all kinds of stuff, unsolicited advice, unsolicited opinions, just making you feel like you have to defend yourself. Right? There's no need to defend yourself. That's just way too many wands to carry, too much responsibility, all that kind of stuff. There you go. Yeah. So we have what's going on with you right now. Now I want to figure out why you specifically need to hear this from me. Why do you need to hear it at this time? I'm feeling the Rider-Waite. And I'll grab that to censor anybody who needs to be censored because they have their bits and bobs out. So let's figure out why you need to hear this at this time. Because you would be aware that you're working on this. But I got that quote. She got her spark back. That's what I got. She got her spark back. Oh, earlier I got Atlantis and I wasn't quite sure why. Now, some of you may identify strongly with Kida, the princess from that movie. But I'm specifically getting the visual of when the crystal up in the sky lights up with Kida and her eyes shine and she becomes part of the crystal, right? It like unlocks her hidden power and she becomes the protective force of the place. So I'm getting that when I get she got her spark back. So it could be like unlocking that part of yourself. Go ask Daddy, okay, sweetie? Someone here may be a single parent or just a parent. So why do they need to hear this at this time? Seven of Pentacles. Oh, and the Nine of Swords. Okay. Because you've been looking back at your life and recent events of the past, and you have been rather unhappy with it. It's kind of had you really anxious. It's been a nightmare situation, keeping you up at night. It's caused a lot of devastation, a lot of problems, a lot of staying up at night in our feelings and just not being happy with how things have been. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? I saw that, but you have to come out. Let's see. Why do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? And 1441 is relevant, mirrored numbers. That adds up to the number 10 and 1. So the completion of one cycle and the beginning of something new. So yeah, closing one door and entering another. Why do they need to hear this at this time? I mean, that seems rather straightforward. If we've looked back at our life, we're not happy with where we put our time, and we've been really in our head about it. I see these undercurrents here of having been in our mental prison for a time. Yeah. And there's that Seven of Wands again. So yeah, not feeling like we're the Nine of Pentacles here, right? The Nine of Pentacles is the mini Empress, right? She's in her garden. She's surrounded by abundance. She's all in her confidence, her Venusian energy. She's got that beautiful red for that passion, that willpower, that fire, the foundation, right? And then the yellow is self-confidence, being confidence in the self. And she's able to sit in her abundance, and she has the falcon here with the hood over its head. Falcons, birds in general in tarot and spirituality represent messages from the divine. And it has the hood over its head because you're comfortable with not knowing where you're going, right? Normally they would be comfortable with not necessarily knowing where they're going, just following the guidance of spirit. And with this snail here, that little snail, that talks about not being too worried about how long it takes. We have not been in that energy. We have not been in this Nine of Pentacles energy. The Nine of Pentacles also represents being single and like happy being single. So like we have not been in this energy. We've been defensive because people have like, this could be unsolicited pictures, opinions, advice, like people just all up in your business and feeling like you have to stand for yourself and explain why you're living the way you're living, which is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to explain why you're living the way you're living. If you're not hurting anyone, there's no reason people need to be in your business. Yeah, with all that blue too, that self-expression, it's like having to talk all the time. Like, why, like it feels like people who are always asking you, why did you choose that? Why did you move that way? Why did you do it this way? And it's like, let me breathe, please. Why do you care how I'm living my life? I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting me. So why do you need to tell me what I should be doing, when I should be doing it, in what way I should be doing it? Like, why is that your business? And why are you God? Why are you the supreme ruler of my life? Yeah, we've had to, like, it feels like we have to explain literally everything we do, and that's just not the vibe, man. Yeah. Because why aren't they in their meat suit minding their business, paying their bills? Why are they all up in yours? Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Yeah, happiness within. Like, obviously it's because like they're deeply unhappy with their life and now they want to impact yours because how you're moving is triggering something in them. Like, yeah, but why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Because you're working hard. You're working hard. You're working hard. You might be doing some research, some learning on how to unlock that inner power, right? So you may actually be learning how to do things like manifestation. Yeah, it's like learning how to do that shadow work, learning how to change your mindset, trying to do new things in order to bring better for yourself. We're trying to reclaim some control in our life, bring some of that inner power within. You see that red again? We're trying to learn how to bring that stability and security in. Yeah, bring that power in from those relationships around us that were very heavily take. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Ooh. Oh, sideways? Okay. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. When I see sideways cards like this tells me it can go either or. This is specifically what you're focused on at this time, right? This is what we're working on. There's an Ace of Pentacles. There's this small little thing in the material realm, whether that's health, wealth, and home, right? Whatever your security, foundation, and abundance is to you. There's a small little opportunity in here that we're currently trying to bring in to get us into this transformative space. Yeah, so we can either take that opportunity that looks really small, that doesn't look like it's going to do anything, or we can reject it, but we're in this moment, feeling like our effort's not really doing anything. Because you see how it's like, this is back here, this doorway? It's the doorway to that garden that she's in, right? That doorway to the garden that she's currently in. But you have to go through you can't see everything in here. So it's like you have to decide to go through the doorway. Yes. So that's kind of where we're at, is like continuing to move forward without knowing what's waiting on the other side. Why else do they need to know this at this time, Spirit? I see all these flippers. There's a lot of emotions on the inside, a lot of hidden things impacting this decision, but they're not coming out to be seen just yet. So they're definitely in the undercurrent. Please don't spam the chat. This is a collective, not a personal. If you would like a personal, I offer that at the link in my bio. Feel free to check it out. I'm happy to answer your questions over there. I don't like airing people's personal business for everybody to see. That just doesn't sit with me. Because the collective's different. You know your story. I'm not putting it on blast. So, why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Yeah, so we have that other beginning here, and I see this star here, but I have to cover her because her bobs are out. So let's just cover that. There we go. So there's a truth, right? Some truth, some clarity popping in. Once we have decided whether or not we go through this little door here, this truth will come in that will spark that healing that you're trying to find, right? Because the star card is all about healing. I'm going to cover her when I show you, but here we go. She pours into the collective waters while also pouring water onto the ground, right? So healing from within the collective, right? The water represents emotions, feelings, those things of that nature, the intuition. She is pouring into both, right? The collective waters and then the waters of the material realm, right? So this clarity that comes in once you decide whether or not to walk through that door will be the thing that sparks the healing process that you're trying to make happen. But this little opportunity here in the material realm, whether that's finances, resources, in the house, like whatever it is, it's here in the 3D, right? Health, wealth, and home is generally what that realm covers, right? Walking through this little door where we are not really sure what's on the other side is going to bring that truth in, that brings some healing in for you. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to work in on that happiness. And there's like a small opportunity here, whether that's like a course you're taking in order to learn how to do this, or whatever it is that is supposed to bring that healing in to help you move forward. Yeah, the Hierophant. That would be some kind of, the Hierophant represents traditions, religion, authority, things of that nature. So it could be something like taking a course that talks specifically about shadow work and things of that nature. That could bring you the tools you need in order to heal that wound, right? So whatever it is, there's a small little opportunity here that will bring that healing in. Of course, use your discernment when you look at courses and stuff like that. Look into their credentials, things of that nature. You're smarter than you think. I know you'll be smart about it. But there is one here, so they're telling you that it will bring that healing in. It could also be healing around authority figures, traditions. Lots of undercurrents. Yeah, a little bit scared. A little bit scared on the material aspect. Because whatever the course may be, maybe it costs a little bit of money, so we're afraid to take it. That's fair. That's totally fair. Why else do I need to hear this at this time, Spirit? I see 6, so that's lovely. We're trying to balance out things. All right. Yeah, okay. 2 of Swords. We're trying to make a choice, right? We're going back and forth, making a decision regarding internal pain. Yeah, around fake people. Probably family-wise, right? Probably family, probably close friends, something that could have involved money. And yeah, a huge wake-up call that came in. A lot of judgment from these people. So that's kind of the choice here. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to choose to heal this. Trying to choose. Let's see. I want to know what the choice is, though, because it's regarding this. This is the undercurrent here, right? We're like trying to choose something. And it's because we've been through internalized pain around fake people around us who may have been like around for a long time, family, friends, lovers, whatever the case may be, that were very judgy and hypercritical, right? Made us feel super critical. So let's see, what's the choice we're trying to make here? What is the choice they're trying to make with this 2 of Swords? What are the 2 options? Lots of undercurrents at play, a lot of nonsense in the background. What are the 2 choices? Oh, okay. Getting our recognition, right? Having our flowers, having our parade. And what's the other part of the choice? What's the second option here? What's the second option in this decision? Thank you, Spirit. Oh, scarcity. Oh, and the death here. Okay, got it. That's why we're in this moment of choosing between these. We want the validation from these fake people. They've been around for a while, and we may be feeling like we have to hold on to them because they've been around for a while. But we're refusing to remove ourselves from the equation, right? We may be afraid to, we're afraid to dead it is basically it. Some people here are afraid to dead that situation. They're afraid to end it. They're kind of avoiding that ending because they're probably worried that they'll be judged. They won't have friends. They won't have a legacy, and they'll just be stuck in this, right? No. Because you don't have family, friends, and loved ones if they're fake. They're not actually for you, okay? Don't surround yourself with people just so you have people. You want people who actually care about you. You want your found family. You want your chosen family. Okay? Surround yourself with the people who actually care about you. Don't hold on to people, because the longer you hold on to people who don't actually care about you, the longer you keep yourself away from the people who actually care about you. You know what I mean? Because your schedule is already busy enough dealing with these fake people who take from you, who treat you like garbage, who make you feel like you're not really enough, and make you feel like you can't ever have your recognition. You can't ever be treated like a good friend, and feel like you have to just basically chase and kind of, it's like begging to be loved. And you don't beg to be loved. You don't beg for friendship. You don't beg for love. You don't beg for any of that. If you have to beg, leave. That's my advice from you as your big sister, okay? If you have to beg, it's not for you. Let's see. So we have our what and we have our why. And I want to get into the next part, which is what you even need to do about it. And I'm feeling the Soul Tarot today, so we'll go with the Soul Tarot. You're welcome. What do you need to do about it? Because I can tell you what and why, but that's vague and doesn't really give advice. So let's get into it and see what you actually need to do about it. Yeah, that transformation. Yeah, it's like fantasizing about having these close relationships, these friends, these like chosen family, and you're fantasizing like, you know, sitting down for dinner together, or going out and doing fun things with your friends, or just, you know, going out and having those memories, those things that you see. But the reality is not matching the fantasy. And it's not like, maybe you've already told people, hey, I really want this, and they're just not bringing it. It's like, okay, well, if they're not interested, then leave. It's not like you're asking too much. So what do they need to do about it, Spirit? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, well, you're already doing the work to heal this part, so continue doing that, right? Don't stop. Just because you're not seeing the results yet doesn't mean you won't. So keep doing that work, because you're doing a great job. Yeah, keep doing that work, because you are stepping into that. You are stepping into your Emperor phase. You are getting some control over your life, even if you can't quite see it yet, right? And I say this all the time in my readings. Even if you take 3 steps forward and then the very next day you take 2 steps back, you have still made 1 step of progress, which is 1 more step than you were 2 days ago, okay? So just remember that, all right? What else do they need to do about it at this time? Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of cleansing work would be really highly beneficial for you. So I get the incense smoke coming over here, which is cleansing. Some cleansing work would be really good. Yeah, cleansing is usually like, you can take a hot shower and you can imagine that the hot shower, the hot water is light, engulfing the body. And when you're watching the water go down the drain, you can imagine it as like the muck and the grime, the not so good energy going down the drain, and that will cleanse your system a little bit of all that not so good energy, right? You can also do smoke cleanses. You can use essential oils. You can light a candle, things like that. Just very simple practices in order to bring a little bit of, even opening the windows, letting fresh air in does help. It really does. The 2 of Cups in the reverse and the World. Okay. So that tells me, yeah, we're ending this cycle of relationships that aren't reciprocal. And relationships can mean more than just romantic, right? Familial, platonic, those types of things. We're ending that cycle. You're putting in that work towards it, right? In order to end those types of relationships, you first have to get your boundaries in order. You have to get into that Emperor energy of being able to put your foot down and deading things when they're not actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, so we're fast approaching that. We're fast approaching that ending. Thank you, Spirit. The 7 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. So yeah, don't be so worried about making the wrong choice, because you're always on the right path. Life is an ever crooked path, and you are never off of it, right? Sometimes we take a more scenic route. Sometimes we take a detour for a second, but we're always on the path. We're always on the journey, right? So don't be so afraid. Like I said, you're trying to make this decision of, do I hold on to these people or do I go after the people who really actually care about me? If I pick one, I might make the wrong decision and lose all my friends, lose all the love, be alone, die alone, those types of things. No, no, no. What you get when you let go of people who don't actually care about you is, sure, it might be lonely for a minute, but you get a lot more peace because now people aren't breathing all down your neck and like being hypercritical of your life and treating you like garbage. Now you actually can bring in the new friendships, right? And we have the Nine of Wands in reverse as well. Yeah. And don't be so guarded towards new friendships, new relationships. I do personal readings at the link in my bio. I don't do them here on live because your personal business is yours and I do not feel comfortable putting it for the whole world to see. But you can go over there and check that out, see if it's for you, right? And I'm more than happy to answer your questions there, right? And then you can have your little PDF. It'll have all the explanations of everything with all the guidance that you need, and you can read it as many times as you want. It's yours once you have it, okay? So, yeah, when you go in, right, and you dead this situation, right? You make your choice, right? You either keep it around or you go after people who actually will celebrate you, right? When you make that decision and you head forward, don't be so afraid of making the wrong choice. Keep your boundaries firm and try not to be so guarded, right? Don't treat the new people like the ones who hurt you. Be aware, use your discernment. You'll know when people are acting sideways, but don't treat everybody like they're a venomous snake when they show up, okay? What else do I need to do at this time, Spirit? Ooh. Things feel so chaotic. What else do I need to do at this time? Thank you. Yeah, the moon. Okay, so yeah, looking at those layers, looking at the armor we're wearing in order to make sure we're not overguarded. And then we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Oh, okay. With the Seven of Wands in reversed as well. So more of that defensiveness. Yeah, we need to also examine why we feel like we need to defend our happiness. We're unhappy, but we feel defensive whenever anyone tries to talk about our unhappiness or our happiness. So we need to also figure out why we have that guard up and what we need to do about it. Thank you. I have two in the sideways here, which is interesting. So we have the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Okay. The Eight of Wands, that's that delays again. So it's like, yeah, okay. So this anxiety, this constant overthinking, and we have the Hermit here as well. So being home alone, looking inside, if we spend all of our time being in our anxiety, that's what causes those delays. Versus when we leave behind those anxieties, right? When we start actively not ruminating on those things and kind of hyper focusing on it, that's when it comes in, okay? And that requires you going within and shining a light on that, okay? That's kind of what we're needing to work on is the consistent being in our head, the consistent nightmares, the consistent like looking into that and thinking of all the possible ways that we could mess up, that we could chase away good connections, that we could bring in more bad connections, things like that. Like that hyper focus is the thing causing the delays. So you need to go in and figure out why it is that we're so hyper focused on this. And like, yes, there may be trauma here, especially with mother wounds, but you need to actually get to the root of it, right? What specifically is the source? What feeling am I trying to get, right? Am I chasing validation? What exactly am I chasing here that's causing this feeling? Hi, R, hello. So that's kind of what our focus should be at this moment, is going within and figuring out why we are prone to this overthinking issue regarding whether or not we'll make the right choice. Okay? Oh, cleansing your way. I feel like whenever I see the Nine of Swords so many times, I do this every reading. I do 2 incenses, but Nine of Swords especially needs a lot of extra cleansing work. Oh, I saw that, but what else do they need to do at this time? Thank you again for being here and spending your Wednesday with me. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for just being here. Thanks for your time. What else do I need to do at this time? There you go. The 4 of Swords. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we need to pause from all the drama. The 4 of Swords is a card of rest, right? It's the card of rest. You need a break from the drama. That 5 of Swords, right? A break from the lies, a break from the drama. So these people around here that you're trying to figure out whether or not to let them go, you need a break from their drama before you decide, because they're bringing drama into your life for no reason. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like earlier in the runes, I got intuitive gift of luck and abundance, or luck and wealth, which is so interesting. There's that star again. Yeah, a break from the drama to heal that need for validation. Oh, okay. Yep, home life. That wound is in the home life. That wound came from childhood. Again, that eldest daughter, mother wounds. So yeah, there's this need for approval from our friends, our family, our closest ones, because there was at some point this feeling of a mother wound. It doesn't have to be a mother wound, but that's what I got today, is that eldest daughter needing the approval of the mother figure, the feminine figure, the intuitive, nurturing person, wanting the approval, so we seek it elsewhere, and when we don't get it, we feel the need to hold on to it. That constant chasing, when you don't need to chase, you don't need to beg to be loved. Okay? You don't need to beg for it. Because in healthy relationships, it just shows up and is given freely. What else do we need to do at this time? Yeah, the Nine of Swords showing up so much it goes really well with the song I got. One of the songs I got, which was Monsters in My Mind by Cloudy June. I'm telling you, say they're at the park, they're in the dark, they're anywhere that you're not surrounded by people. Oh, you might also have a tendency to surround yourself with people, because when you're alone, you start going through all of your trauma and getting in this overthink space. But unfortunately, these people kind of poke at those wounds. Oh, that's unfortunate. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Yes, it's like we're surrounding ourselves with people. We feel lonely around these people because they don't actually care about us. But we don't want to be alone, because when we're alone, we are confronted with our own pain, and we don't want to handle that. So we surround ourselves with people who kind of perpetuate that pain constantly. Yeah, a vicious cycle. It's like you are getting there, though, right? She got her spark back. The near completion. It's like you're working on this. It's like you noticed and you're working on it, but we're just at that last little bit here of choosing whether or not we just leave them behind. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles in the reversed again, and the Five of Wands in the reversed again. Yeah, it's like this drama. The Five of Wands is rivalry, competition, right? In the reverse, it's rivalry and competition in a not fun way. It's not like friendly rivalry. Welcome in. It's very much not fun. It's like jealousy, rumors, gossip, that kind of energy. And that's literally blocking this Ace of Pentacles. Because before we had it sideways, going after an opportunity, because we're not quite sure what's in this garden, if it's even worth the effort, even though the truth to our healing is in that garden. And these people probably tell you not to go there. Put you in that little mental prison, right? That mental prison again. It's always the mental prison. Okay. So that's the, yeah, I'm being called to get into the advice oracle cards here. I have a new oracle card deck that I think will go beautifully with this, and I'm going to get into that. But before I do, I like to post a summarized video at the end of my lives for anyone who didn't make it. So I'm just going to do a quick recap, and then we'll get into the oracle advice cards to give you a little bit more to think on as you go forward. So just bear with me for a moment, okay? So this collective has been working very hard on finding their happiness, their emotional fulfillment, their chosen family, their chosen friends, right? And you've been doing a pretty good job. You've been going forward with a rather level head on it. We're trying to leave behind those lies from the past and leaving behind this feeling of isolationism, like blocking everyone away in order to kind of bring in that healing. We've been good at keeping our head above water, right? Not necessarily drowning in our emotions over it. We've been really putting in that work, getting our things in order, getting our priorities straight. But we do have some delays here that make us feel like we're not really in our power. So we're a bit frustrated on that front. But you are actively still manifesting. You're putting in that work, even if it's just because it feels right. You're being intuitively called and you're still putting in that work, and it's bringing in the results. A perspective shift is being done for you. You're changing your perspective on these types of weird, manipulative people in your life, right? These manipulative friends or family members who are always saying their little pieces, their little lies, their little rumors, and kind of just ruining all your plans. Like, you're trying to wait for your ships to come in. You're trying to wait and see the efforts of all this hard work you've been doing. And we're at the point now where we need to leave behind these burdens of constant unsolicited advice, unsolicited opinions, right? Because these people here who are kind of manipulative in your circle are the ones who are always like questioning everything you do. They have something to say. Hi, Stormborn. They've always got something to say. It's annoying at this point, really, because their life is a dumpster fire, yet they're talking to you like they have all the answers. Annoying. So the reason you need to know this is because you've been looking at your life and you are not happy with it. Just straight up. You're looking at all the time and energy you've put into these people, and we're not happy with it, right? Oh, who are these even my friends? Am I ever going to get anywhere? We're not feeling like the Nine of Pentacles. We're not. We're not in our garden with our abundance. We're not surrounded by people who enjoy us. We don't feel very confident. We don't feel rooted in ourselves. We don't feel like we have any of that stability. And we're constantly having to defend all of our hard work. People have so much to say about what we're doing, and it's ridiculous, right? You've been researching. You've been learning. You've been trying to figure out how to call your power in, right? You're trying to figure out how to go within and heal those wounds. You're trying to get the strategies you need in order to bring this happiness in. How can I be a better communicator? How can I be more discerning? How can I have more confidence? Those types of things. And right here, this little sideways thing, this thing we're currently focusing on is this little opportunity here, this tiny little opportunity in the material realm. Could be a course that we specifically want to take. That could be like financial information. It could be related specifically to being a better communicator, but it might cost some money. And because we can't necessarily see whether this garden leads to this garden, we're a little bit afraid of taking it. Right? We're a little bit afraid of taking it. Should I? Shouldn't I? It could also be changing a career. You know your life best, but it is something in the material realm. It is something in the 3D that we are currently trying to figure out if we should or should not go. Well, I'm here to tell you that behind this little door, in this little garden, is the truth you're looking for. There is some truth and clarity that you need in order to bring about your healing, right? And again, I've told you, it's some kind of course, right? The Hierophant is traditions, it's religion, it's authority figures, some form of belief system. It could be something that deals with traditions. It could be something that deals with religion. Whatever the case may be, there's some kind of truth in there that will bring about some healing. And right now we are in that decision-making process. I'm sorry to say it, my friend. There is something that we are refusing to end. And the reason we're refusing to end it is because we have a lot of pain here, and we're worried that if we do, it's going to cause more pain. And it's around a bunch of fake people. It's around a lot of fake people, right? This decision involves a lot of friends, family members, possible lovers, people that are important to you who are not for you. They don't celebrate you, right? They're people who, like family, because you might have known them for a very, very long time. They're very prominent in your life. And they're very hypercritical. They are very judgmental of your life. Very judgmental. But they've been around for forever. So it's like, if I leave them behind, if I dead the situation instead of waiting for them to eventually catch up for whenever the hell they decide to change, I'm going to somehow end up alone and not have people in my life, never find love, never find friendship, never find the people that matter to me. We're kind of in that space. That's why we keep going back and forth, not sure which way to choose. The decision we're trying to make is whether we hold on to these relationships that kind of keep us in this scarcity mindset, or whether we go find the people who actually celebrate us when we do things. Tough decision, right? Because they've been around for forever. Now, what Spirit wants you to do about it is keep working, keep doing the work you're doing, because it is bringing in that progress. You are bringing in your Emperor energy. It's coming in. You are doing the work. It's showing up. Just because you don't see it just yet, it's an internal thing. You're not going to see it as easily as you would if you started lifting weights or dieting a little bit, right? It takes a bit longer to see it, and you're more familiar with yourself than anything else. So it's going to be harder for you to notice, right? Yeah, but you are completing this cycle. This work you're doing is completing that cycle of those relationships in your life that are take. You are completing that cycle. It's coming in. It's not a matter of if, my friend. It's a matter of when. You are doing it. Just straight up. Yes, you are. And they don't want for you to feel like you're going to make a bad decision, right? If you choose to hold on to these people, that's fine, right? Eventually, you're going to get to the point where they either decide to change themselves, or you're going to leave them where they're at. No matter what, you're not making a bad decision, right? You're not going to die alone and be sad and never have friends again if you do decide to dead this situation, okay? You're not going to make a bad choice. And right here, right, we have this 9 of Wands. They also don't want, when you do eventually decide to leave this behind, or if new people come into your life, do not treat them like the people who hurt you, okay? There's no need to be so guarded, okay? You can go forth. You can be as loving as you've always been. You can be as kind as you've always been. You're smarter than you think. If you think they're treating you some type of way and you want to walk off, go on ahead, okay? There's no need to treat them like they're going to automatically be sideways from the get-go. Be yourself, okay? You don't have to have a wall up. You'll be all right. And there needs to be a shining of light on this feeling here. Yeah. There's a deep unhappiness because we're in our head all the time. We're in our head all the time about things not progressing fast enough, right? We want things to move faster. We want them to come here sooner. We're always in our head about it. This constant overthinking is the reason you have delays. So there needs to be some light shining here on why you feel like whether or not it shows up fast, you have to sit here and blame yourself for being unhappy or telling yourself you're going to be unhappy forever. You need to shine some light on that, my friends, because that's the reason you have delays, is because you're hyper-focused on when is it here? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Right? That's a chasing energy. You don't want to chase your manifestations. It's good to go after it. It's good to work towards it. But the more you hyper-focus on when it's going to show up, the more you're letting the universe know that you do not have it, and the more it's going to stay forever out of reach, okay? So you need to address the overthink. All right. The Hermit card. Now, I know we had the Hermit card in the reversed earlier, right? So this tells me, right, we had that isolationist tendency. We don't want the isolationist tendency. We want to look within, yes, but we don't want to look within so hard that we never go outside and enjoy our life, all right? They do want you to take a break from this drama that these people are bringing in, because they're bringing drama in, okay? You see all this smoke coming in towards me? This is some negative nonsense that you need a break from. However, you can find a way to get a break from it, right? There needs to be a pause here, and some healing needs to be done. This healing needs to be done around childhood wounds. The Four of Wands is all about the home life, foundations, right? Healing needs to be done around the home life, around foundations, okay? Because for some reason, again, mother wounds are very strong here. For some reason, there is this strong feeling that you specifically are responsible for bringing your own happiness in. And if it's not here now, you failed somehow. That's back here in the past, friend, okay? We need to address that. We need to address it and do something about it. Yeah. Getting away from this constant, the people in your life, the reason that this Ace of Pentacles, right? If you continue to go after this Five of Wands, this constant like drama nonsense, these people who are always competing with you, you're never going to go through this Ace of Pentacles, okay? Because they're always going to stop you every time. Every time. Whether intentional or no. And then we have the Eight of Swords here. Yeah, they'll just keep you in that mental prison because they're going to keep you where they're at. All right? So that's the recap. And let's get into the advice oracle cards. I just got a new deck. Someone gifted it to me. Well, my partner gifted it to me early for Christmas. So we're going to get into it. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Beast Soul oracle cards. I love the color of it. And it has little sentences on it that I think will be very helpful. And some of them even have little spells you can do. Nothing super crazy. They're more affirmation than anything else. But I think that they will go beautifully. And I mean, just look how pretty. So let me move the card. I'm so excited I forgot to move the cards out of the way. Okay, let's move the cards out of the way so that we can get into advice for you as you move on. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you. And let's see what you need moving forward in order to help you with this process. Because again, it's always easy to tell you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but like, how? So, all right, Spirit. Let's ease some of their fears and their worries at this time. Bring them some advice and clarity in order to help them on their path as they continue forward. Hello, Brooklyn. Bring them some advice as they continue forward on this journey. And help them with this Nine of Swords. Help them with this tendency to overthink. Just give them some clarity and some wisdom as they go forward. Closing advice for my collective. Closing advice for the wonderful collective here today. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for being here again. I really appreciate you guys. And to anyone who's joined late, I want to say again, thank you for your kind words over the past few days. I really appreciate you for being here when I was going through a tough time. I'm on this journey with you guys, so I really, really appreciate it. Seriously. Yeah, reading for you guys brings me a lot of happiness, and I just needed that day off. But yeah, I'm healing with all of you. I'm going through it. I'm processing my own emotions, and I just really appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. So, closing advice for my collective here today as they progress forward on their journey. Don't be shy. Open up, please. Closing advice for my collective. And I saw 1, 2, 3 many times earlier. So you are on the right path. You are doing the work. You are going forward, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it at this time. If you want a reading, like a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. You can go there and check it out. It's just my personal belief that private readings should stay private. I don't like blasting your business all over the internet. So that's why I do collectives, because you know your situation best and you can decide if it applies to you. And if it doesn't, you can leave. No harm done. No harm, no foul. But I'm more than happy to answer your questions over there, okay? Thank you, Spirit. So we have the loyal dog with honesty, loyalty, and dependability. Someone will protect you and guide you between heaven and earth. How cute. So Spirit's with you, right? Like, oh, I love these cards. They're so cute. Someone is there for you. Someone's there for you. There will be someone there for you. You're welcome. Any other advice at this time? So just know that you're protected as you go through this process, and to listen to your intuition, because Spirit is guiding you along this. I see the number 5. So yeah, Spirit is guiding you through this changing process. Don't be afraid. You'll be all right. Even if you're having a rough day, even if it feels like you can't ever do anything right, or you're always making the wrong decision, Spirit's always with you and they're always helping you out. They're always there. The carefree squirrel, preparedness, practicality, and manifestation. Master of all hidden treasure, help you guard the things that matter most. So yeah, guarding yourself as well, right? So even though we don't want to be overly guarded, remember to like have those boundaries. Guard the things that matter to you, right? Yeah, like finding your actual tribe, finding the people who really love you and care for you, and those are the people that you go hard for, okay? Those are the people that you go hard for, not the people who are never there for you, not the people that never show up, not the people that never give what they're getting. Don't ride or die for those people. They don't deserve it. We have the nimble bat, perception, change, and flexibility. You beg for any of that, right? They'll show up. Because if you go into those relationships, like if you find those people who truly care about you and you care about them, then it'll be 2 ride or dies riding or dying together. You know, like hopefully not the dying part, but you know what I mean? Like that is what you want. You want the people who just go hard for you and you go hard for them, like to the end. That's what you want. But you have to have boundaries first in order to weed out the people who are just going to use you. And it sucks because like having to put your foot down isn't very fun, because you feel like it sucks. You feel bad, but that's because someone taught you that your boundaries don't really matter, okay? It is perfectly healthy to tell people when they've messed up, and that you don't have to keep giving them chance after chance after chance. At any point, you can be like, no, I'm good. And that doesn't make you evil or bad, okay? And we have the fierce wolf, intelligence, instinct, and protection. A lot of protection here. Fierce hunter and protector. Be the guardian and guide of my journey, right? So if you want to bring in the wolf spirit to help you with this would be what you say, right? You can say that to your spirit guides as well, to have them come protect you. Because we have here both the loyal dog and the wolf, which the moon in traditional tarot has both creatures on it. They are both howling at the same moon, right? The domesticated side of society and the wild side, our inner shadow self. So it's both the light and the shadow. You are protected by both your shadow side and by your intuition, which is very true. Your shadow side is your protective mechanisms that you have had your whole life. And sometimes it just gets a little bit out of whack because we get overprotective, right? So it's beautiful to see both here. I love that. Anything else for them, Spirit? Any more closing advice for them at this time? Visionary giraffe, growth, foresight, and vision. You need to heighten my awareness and intuition. So again, tapping into your intuition and following it, okay? Tap into it. Allow it to give you that big picture, the big picture, seeing above just the ground. These are so pretty and so cute. It's such a soft little color palette. They feel so gentle. I love it. So I love that growth, perception, change, boundaries, protection, dependability, and manifestation. Oh, yeah. Any more, Spirit? Like, we're working so hard on it, so keep working on it. You're doing a great job, okay? And you're not going to make the wrong decision, all right? Woo, lots of flippers. I'm not going to take those because that was a user error. These cards are slippy. So, closing advice for my collective here today. 2, 3, 4 is relevant. Again, with that progression and steps forward on the right path. She got her spark back. Thank you, Spirit. The pure swan. Elegance, purity, and tranquility. Stay classy. Accept the gift of love and beauty. Yes. Yeah. Purity, the purification. So keep going. Yeah. And when you do find those people who do bring in that energy, don't be so quick to shut them out, okay? Accept love. Accept it. It's okay to still be loving. It's okay to still have an open heart. It's okay to still be kind, all right? Yes. Beautiful. This is such a soft energy, and I'm really here for it. We got 2. With the playful raccoon, courage, problem-solving adventure, reveal any secrets or deceit in your life. Interesting. And then what came with it? The sacred snake. I said I saw a white snake earlier. Wisdom, grounding, and eloquence. Get quiet and meditate. Unravel the mysteries of the universe. So that need to go within. And snakes, white specifically represents purity. So like purification, right? Purifying the negativity in your life. And snakes represent transformation, healing, and renewal. So yeah, reveal any secrets or deceit in your life and then purify it. Get rid of it. And then get quiet and meditate. Doesn't necessarily mean isolate yourself. It just means having a moment. Anything else, Spirit? Before I release them to the wilds. I've noticed a lot of these have flipped over backwards. Anything else, Spirit? Beautiful. Yeah, that resurrection. A resurrection. Oh, how beautiful. We're working on our resurrection. 211 adds up to 4 for that stability and that security again. New beginning in communication, reciprocity, partnerships. And finally, we have the disguised chameleon with versatility, camouflage, and agility. Careful creature cloaked in colors, give me heart with peace. So there you go. Beautiful. Oh, there's that eagle. Clarity, inspiration, and insight. Awaken your spirit to soar to new heights. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful energy. Absolutely beautiful. So that's all I have for you guys. This is beautiful energy. I know you're working really hard, so we're just at that last little bit of whether to stay or go, and that's okay. Take your time. You won't make the wrong choice. And yeah, go into that garden. Go through that little gate. you'll find the clarity you're looking for, which will bring the healing that you're looking for. Okay, it'll bring the renewal and the transformation. So that's all I have for you here today. Thank you so much for allowing me into your energy, for giving me your time and your attention, and for allowing me to be a reader, for choosing me. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Please feel free to check it out. Thank you so much. And if you're watching from the YouTube, when I post this later, that's in the description box below. Feel free to check it out, see if I vibe with you. Again, on the listings, I have the numbers listed as 3-card readings, stuff like that. That represents the number of tarot cards. You also get all of the oracle cards, just like I did today. All the oracle cards, runes, dice, charms, signs, synchronicities, everything. Everything that you got here today is what I give there. I type it up in a little PDF. I send it to you with all the explanations of what each thing means, where it's at, and how it all combines into the message that you need. So feel free to check it out, see if I vibe with you. If I don't, and this is the last that I see of you, thank you again for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I wish you so much love, luck, joy, peace, abundance, and healing on your journey. Remember that life is an ever-crooked path, and you are never off of it. If you have chosen to follow me and you vibe with me, thank you. And I wish all the same for you. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.